Greetings. It's September the 12th, Friday, and I'm responding to my own video, actually, but responding to the comments section by Rapture 1987, I believe is the guy's name. I have the paper here printed out. Yeah, Rapture 1987. Long story short, my first video was dealing with the reference to Mary, Queen of, or no, not Mary, sorry, the Queen of Heaven in Jeremiah, and some of my thoughts regarding that as Rome applies this name to Mary, the mother of Jesus, in some of its dogmatic types of things regarding her. So, in the comment section, I kind of let that sit because I was done just moving on, doing other studies and things like that. But I got a comment just yesterday from a let's see, I'm going to read this to you. It's from some kind of a Roman Catholic hymn, and here's the stanza that says, "O teach me, Holy Mary, a loving song to frame. When wicked men blaspheme thee, I love and bless thy name." And the individual who's, I believe that's John Wyse, W-Y-S-E, who penned that. At least that's the source online I could find, so I'll trust that as far as you want to go with it. But the thing that caught me is the commenter wanted to make a comment about me being wicked because I was coming against Mary. He's free to make that charge. I think it's baseless. I mean, as far as I take that back. Biblically speaking, we're all wicked. Mary is wicked. I'm wicked. Rapture 1987 is wicked. So we're all wicked apart from the imputed righteousness of Christ. So there, I guess you scored a point. But the I had caught me was when the stanza says that when men blaspheme thee and men blaspheme Mary, and I thought that just seems really odd. So I did a quick today scan through the Bible on when it uses the word blasphemy or blaspheme, and I found the 41 odd references in the NASB, and all the references. Some of them were just saying when there's blasphemy, or there's references to the idea of blasphemy, like especially like in the New Testament, they accuse Jesus of blasphemy. So it doesn't say he blasphemed God, but they accuse him of blasphemy. In the context, it clearly says that he was talking about things relating to his deity, relating to his message, his message and his mission as the Messiah and as Christ. Therefore, was he? They were saying that he was saying things against God. Therefore, it's blasphemy. In the Old Testament, I think the only time where a direct blaspheme the name of the Lord or blaspheme the name of God, or God says they're blaspheming me, the only time there wasn't a specific one verse capture of that was in Samuel after David had Uriah murdered and had slept with Bathsheba and was being confronted by Nathan. And the 2 Samuel says that these actions have caused God's enemy to blaspheme. And I think contextually, the only way to understand that is they're blaspheming God, not David or anybody else. So why is this important? Well, this text from the stanza says that the wicked men blaspheme Mary. So I'm thinking of, okay, is there a biblical precedent where people can blaspheme people? The only thing I could find that was remotely close, and I mean remotely close, we're talking 17 exits off the beaten path, was in Acts when Stephen's on trial. And the people say that he's been blaspheming God and Moses. Now, 3 reasons why I think that's a poor justification to say that you can blaspheme people. One is that every other reference that I found in Scripture has either the implied or explicitly defined recipient of the recipient of blasphemy is God. 2, this is the only singular reference that would even hint at somebody else being able to be receiving of blasphemy. And 3, it's so cursory because actually 2 and 3 are the same, I guess. There's only one, and it doesn't even define exactly what they're saying. But 3, Moses, the law of Moses, that's how they understood the Old Testament, the Torah or the Pentateuch and the law and the prophets. Law of Moses is specifically their scriptures. And so if you blaspheme Moses, you'd be blaspheming the revealed scripture that you had. So I think from a Jewish perspective, from an Old Testament perspective, you could say someone blasphemed Moses by blaspheming what God had revealed to Moses, not by blaspheming saying that he was not a god or saying that he shouldn't be worshipped. That's not blasphemy against Moses. Same way it's not blasphemy against Mary. So I think unintentionally or unintentionally, I don't know, but ascribing this crime of blasphemy against or as something you can do to Mary, ascribing a level of deification. I'm sorry, it's just the way it is. I mean, unless you want to use some extra biblical understanding of blasphemy, but I don't know if you have one that doesn't imply the idea of deity. And so my Catholic friends, whether that's intentional or unintentional by people inside of Roman Catholicism, you need to see that as what it implies. If language means anything, then that has something to do with Mary and some kind of deification. I know a lot of Roman Catholics don't see that, don't want that. Some who are pushing for the dogmas wouldn't even, but that's, I'm afraid, where it's going to go. So Mr. Rapture Man, call me wicked if you want to. Say that I'm blaspheming Mary if you want to, that's fine. But blasphemy is a crime against God, not against Mary. She is a sinner saved by grace, just like anybody else who's saved. May God grant you grace, and may God grant all of us grace. To those who have not been forgiven of their sins, I pray that He grant you grace to receive salvation and be brought into newness of life. For those of us that have been, may He grant us continual grace and peace in our study of the Word and loving of Himself. Soli Deo Gloria.